What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm just going to be giving my top 3 lures that I feel like are the easiest baits to throw for a beginner angler. And just hopefully something that can help you get maybe a couple more bites and are also very beginner friendly. Thank you guys for watching. And my first lure, this is going to be really good for like the summer months and all that, is a some sort of topwater. This is a buzzbait right here. I always prefer to put like a netbait BF toad on the back of my buzzbaits. I just like that profile a little more than throwing it with a skirt. Plus you can throw it quite a bit easier, as it'll give it more weight, so you can then reel it faster if you have to. Or if you're in the spring, you can leave the skirt on, and or maybe put a toad on there, so you can reel it just a little bit slower, just so there's a little bit more lethargic fish. I like to throw my buzzbaits on, I like monofilament and braid. It kind of just depends, like if it's flooded and I'm throwing this thing around like bushes and stuff, or docks or laydowns, I'm gonna throw braid, just because I can winch those fish out of that cover a little bit easier. But mono, it's fine for open water if you're just covering water, as it gives you, because a lot of times it happens, like you'll get the bite, you'll be like, whoa, and they set the hook way too early and the fish don't even have it yet. And so that mono still gives you that little bit of stretch to where it just gives you a little bit extra time to make sure that fish gets that hook. But yeah, I prefer a little shorter rod for this. This right here is a 6'6" medium heavy. This is like a buzzbait and spinnerbait rod for me, really. As it's shorter, so it's easy to make them little roll casts and everything if you need to, skip it under docks, all that jazz, but still have a little bit of backbone to get this fish out of cover, or drive the hook also as well, just a little bit. And another tip is just to put right there, we have a little trailer hook on our buzzbait. So there's like the actual, like the main hook, and then there's a little trailer hook. So especially if those fish are biting a little finicky that day, like I did the other day on Stockton, where they're really only getting the trailer hook. And it's not what you want, but I mean, bite's a bite, so can't get mad about it. My second lure here, my other 2 lures are gonna be lures that can work all year round, pretty much any conditions. And one of those is going to be a jig right here. I gotta take this stupid little thing off. Didn't catch any of it. But right here, this is just a 1/2 ounce football jig, hand tied, get that cool stuff. But I like a 1/2 ounce a lot. I feel like it's really versatile. And a football jig is mostly for when you're throwing it around rocks, dragging it off a point, stuff like that, is it'll come, like it won't get caught in between those little crevices as easily. But I really like this color. It's a little green, kind of greenish. It's got a tiny bit of blue in it. I like it a lot. And honestly, what I put on the back of it a lot of times, I think I have one over here. Yeah. This is a netbait Hex Rascal right here. It's honestly probably became my favorite jig trailer that I've started using a lot. I really do like putting chartreuse on my pinchers. I like mimicking a bluegill a lot this time of year, but it also still has that same crawfish look as well. So you can kind of get both of them eaters. But if you're gonna throw it in like a brush pile or flip a jig, you'd want like a flipping jig most likely, as that's gonna come through the stuff easier. Stuff like that. On this setup, I have Justin Hamner BB Series jig rod. It's his new one that he introduced this year from Halo. I love it a lot. The Iowa Tattoo, the 100 right here. That's what I have in a lot of my bait casters. It's like the best reel I've ever used. 14 pound fluorocarbon. My lakes around here are pretty clear, especially Table Rock where I fish quite a bit. So I like throwing 14, but I haven't had any problems with it, like breaking off or, you know, not being able to kind of get the fish out of the cover, as a lot of times you're fishing brush piles. But for the brush piles, a lot of time I do throw 20 pound, and also if you're like flipping or something, I throw 20 pound test. It's a lot easier, don't have to retie as much, stuff like that. This bait, I've caught fish on it all year round from August of 25, and I'll probably catch them on it till August of 26. It's one of the all-time greatest fishing lures. Kind of just gets bit everywhere you go. Anywhere in the country, really. Now for my final bait. This is probably the easiest bait to throw, I would say. Out of these three. And that's just going to be a shaky head. Right here I got a little 1/4 ounce shaky head. On the back is a net bait ion, green pumpkin. And today we went to Stockton and we were catching a couple fish on it. You know, nothing crazy. And we were putting a little bit of chartreuse on the back. I don't know if you guys can really see it, but we were putting a little bit of chartreuse on the back. Don't know if that, you know, made them bite or not, but never know. Kind of a preference thing as well. This rod, I have it on a Halo HFX 7-foot medium light. I prefer to have it on like the scoping rod today, but I had some other things and I didn't really want to take those off, as those are kind of just situational things. But Halo HFX medium light, that rod right there, this medium light right here, might be like the greatest drop shot or Damiki rod I've had. Thing is legit. I love it. But right here, I got this like 2 days ago. Daiwa Tattoo, the spinning reel. The drag's so freaking smooth on it, dude. It's crazy. And on this, I have 13 or 15 or 16, something like that, pound Sunline All Might braid right here. That's a new sinking braid. So it's really nice for, you know, when the wind's blowing, you know, most braid floats, so it'll get that big, whatever it is, that curve in your line, which is not fun to deal with at all. Yeah, I mean, 1/4 ounce really gets you through most of the year, and you can fish it pretty deep. You know, if you're fishing super shallow, like I'd say like 3 to 7 or 8, 9 feet, I'd throw maybe a little bit lighter one, just because it won't get hung up as much, as it'll be harder to get down in the crevices. But net bait ion is one of my favorites, or a like net bait T-Mac. I like that a lot. Those are 2 really good baits. You know, green pumpkin, and just like your staple colors that have been around for a while. It's always nice. And then I have an 8-pound leader on here as well. That's basically what I throw year round now. I used to throw 6 quite a bit in the winter, but I like to throw 8 quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, that's 3 easy baits to throw, just if you're just beginning out, or if you're struggling throughout the day and just trying to get a bite, as those days come around more than they don't right now in the summertime. But yeah, I mean, I throw a lot of these baits. You know, the buzz bait around channel swing banks, like bluff ends are pretty good. Secondary points. I like channel swings a lot, though. That's one of my favorites. The jig is kind of, you know, that thing's so versatile. You can throw it anywhere. Like, you can throw it on a friggin' bluff if you had to and catch some. But I like points a lot, like main leg, secondary, kind of feel them out throughout the day and what the fish are wanting, or, you know, flipping it on the back of a boat dock or on a walkway, stuff like that. I really love throwing it in those places as well. Those can get some of your biggest bites this time of year. But no, and then the shaky head, kind of the same thing as a jig. Super versatile bait. Once again, points are probably one of the biggest things. You can throw that thing in brush too. I know a couple guys that do that, and they catch quite a few fish on it. Especially if you're trying to get a limit early. That's nice bait to throw. And then, you know, points again. Bluffs are really, people throw there quite a bit. Channel swings, all that type of good stuff. But you know, thank you guys for watching. Comment what you guys want to see next. I'm kind of thinking like a bait caster casting tutorial, maybe. I don't know yet. Or just little things like that, you know. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe as well. That'd be really nice. But yeah, thank you.